Everything is good. Looks like audio is good. Looks like chat is here with us. London is up. We're going to jump in and get things kicked off. All right, looks like players are ready to go. And we're going to get this one kicked off quickly. All right, we're live. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5 jumping into Season 4. UTPL. We already saw 2 matches earlier today brought to you by DRUCKWELLE. Now we're going to bring you All-Star versus DW. 2 teams a lot of folks are going to have their eye on. All-Stars going to be challenging for the #1 spot this season. Fusion joining them this time. Fusion's played a bit of team deathmatch with him. He's actually performed pretty well when we have seen him in UTPL, but hasn't necessarily been playing that often. Rookie, another player that's kind of around and then not around and around and not around. So it'll be interesting to see there's a little bit of, at least from a UTPL, like what we've seen on stream perspective, less consistency with this particular lineup. But every player on All-Stars right now, definitely individually, crazy skilled. So we'll see how things work out. DW, of course, again, we talked about one of the more dangerous teams in this league. People very curious not to just see how they start, but how they keep developing. They've gotten better and better as each season has gone on. And right off the bat, some trades back and forth. Rain did grab that first shield belt. We'll go on board with him as he does get a quick sniper. And we've got 10 seconds till the amp spawns. Let's actually go over to the amp. That's one thing we're going to want to keep an eye on. So, of course, we're on Temple. Very discreet rooms. Very kind of old school in that there's different sections, different kind of separated areas for all of these power-ups. So getting to these power-ups early, going to be critical. Reflex steals the amp right in front of them, goes down to the Enforcer. Actually gets killed by the fall damage. Fantasy, though, is there to pick it up. That's a very subtle play there. Keep that in mind. Reflex stole the amp. Was really weak, probably knew he was about to die to fall damage, calls his teammate over to pick it up right when he lands. So being able to pass that amp in that way, you don't want to, obviously you don't want to take that death, but having your teammate there to pick it up, underrated. That kind of communication makes a big difference in games. They do go down though and eventually do pass the amp to DW, who's built a quick 6 frag lead. See the dual enforcers coming out. Amp, you see, didn't really go too far. We'll take a quick look now at the scoreboard to see how things have shook out. Already only, only a couple minutes in, obviously, but you do see that first amp pretty much going to All-Stars. Didn't see how many kills they got with it. Not a ton of damage coming out. 2 belts already for DW. 400 armors going to All-Stars. So I'm actually really curious to see what that 100 armor vest room looks like. We do have belts spawning first. So we're going to head over to the belt here a little bit early. Again, you'll notice it's sort of its own just separate, discrete room. You can almost play some of these power-up rooms like they're flag bases. You basically get in there, try to keep the other teams out, zone them away. See both teams fighting their way in there. Fantasy gets blasted off by a combo and nailed in mid-air by Flack. Oh, and another kill on top. 2 kills. And the shield belt gets taken by DW. Amp goes to Reflex. Amp sniper in Reflex's hands is going to be extremely scary for DW. Even if he only has 60 health, not what you want to see facing you down. He knows he has to be careful, doesn't want to get caught in any close range fights with that sniper out. This is a map where things like Flak and Rocket's close range can play a really big role. So not a huge amp run there. This is, being such a complex map, this is a map where you can avoid the amp runners relatively well. It's not something that's kind of open where they can just chase you down, something like a deck or something, for instance. We do have a lot of the 50 and 100 armors seem to be getting stacked up on All-Stars side. So right now they're pulling back into it, only down by 1, dead even between these two. We'll see if that, I mean, I'm sure they're not planning on conceding the shield belt, but it could be that they're putting more emphasis on getting the 100 and the 50 armors and consistently grabbing those, which in 4v4 can be a viable strategy. Fantasy flies in there this time, does manage to grab it. So remember, we saw a previous spawn. Some unfortunate, basically 2 quick kills by DW on All-Star players in midair trying to grab that power-up. This time they get it clean. That's going to send Fantasy over towards the damage amp. We'll head over to it. I'm not sure. Fantasy may grab it himself since he has the armor. They had been feeding it to Reflex, but very smart to give the amp to someone with a little bit more armor. Especially in a close range map like this, it's so easy to just spam behind you and catch people. So nice job there by Fantasy with the chase down, using the walls to stay off the ground, be difficult to counterattack against. See him chasing down with Stinger. This can be a bit of a messy map, and that's what you may see. This isn't a clean, like, running around taking easy sniper pot shots and, you know, and the easy shock primaries and such. This is going to be a messy map. You have to get in people's face. You have to predict their movement, and communication, I think, is huge on this map, because you're not always going to see the enemy whenever you're shooting at them. Often you rely on your teammates to tell you where they are. Ooh, big combo there. Fantasy on a bit of a roll. We'll stick with him for now. We do have power-up spawning in a bit. I kind of want to take a peek over at that 100 armor area. You know what? Let's head over there. Let's just skip straight over. Give you a view of it. I'm curious who's playing it and how. We've got 4-1 so far. Or excuse me, 9-1 so far. Big advantage. It looks like maybe Fusion is just dedicated to that room. Not entirely uncommon on this map, because you do have a couple of weapons in here, although not necessarily your favorite weapons. They have been rotating people through consistently. I mean, you saw Fusion grab it there. We'll go on board with him and see if he circles back around. They might be rotating people out as well. So keep that in mind. If All-Stars continues to dominate that 100 armor, even if they lose the vest, or even if they lose the belt, rather, that vest can really help mitigate that. Oh, Flak chasing Fusion down, just trying to survive at this point. Maybe looking for a teammate, kind of what we saw earlier. If you're going to drop the amp, you at least want to drop it to a teammate. He does have jump boots, and he actually picks up the jump boots again. And Rain chasing him down with boots of his own, but Fusion with a clutch shot down to 3 HP. Desperately just trying to stay alive at this point. Maybe get some free damage, but more than anything, wants to reestablish himself. So not a huge amp run here by any means, but you do deny it to your opponent. And staying alive there, that key shot when you have 3 HP, big. And now you can see him circling back around to that vest. Vest spawning in 3 seconds. DW you can see attacking it, but Fantasy and Rookie already over there as well. So a big emphasis on this 100 armor. Every time it spawns, All-Stars is sending at least one person to it, and we've seen them send a second or third, depending on what the situation is. All right, so we're in position for belt. You can see DW trying to grab it from middle. All-Stars getting to the belt much earlier this time. They're not taking any risky jumps to try to grab it like they've had to in the past. It does get negated, though, so nobody in the map has armor. We'll see what happens with this 100 armor vest. Rain giving chase, but Reflex picking it up. And the 100 armors for All-Stars, while they've been dominating the power-up, they've been going all over the place. They've been spreading them out. We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard to see what I mean. 4-2-2-4, yeah. So it's not like there's one player taking all of the vests, which we sometimes see as a strategy, kind of playing on a 100 island, if you will. Oh, Reflex gets knocked off, or maybe chased off. I think he only got hit by Enforcer. I don't think that would have knocked him off the run to the amp there. So amp is going to get out of sync a little bit. This is where it gets tricky. You're about halfway through a TDM game. It's very close. It's very tense. Amp goes down. See Fantasy getting shot out there. DD's going to go for it. He has it. He goes down immediately, and that's going to give Fusion another amp run. He goes down to the flak. Rookie picks it up, and he goes down. Right now, this amp is just a death sentence. And throughout all of that, Alpha comes away with it with a chance to get an actual kill, and there it is, defends himself. They also grab the belt, so a big turnaround there. DW was down. They end up winning the amp kind of back and forth tug of war, if you will, and they get themselves a shield belt. Is that only the second belt of the game for them? Oh no, they've been getting, that's right, they've been getting the belts. Only 200 armors for the game for them, that's right. Fusion grabbing that other 100 armor off screen as we see. So it does seem like there's sort of a contrasting styles here, and I actually really love seeing that in TDM because it means that there's going to be an ebb and flow. There's going to be some slow periods in the map where one team is back off in their corner getting what they think is important. Here we've got both armors, the belt and the 100 armor coming up at the same time. Curious to find out what Allstars does here. We've got we've got Fusion and Fantasy sitting on it. Rookie coming down from up top. Vest is up. Reflex was solo. So Reflex, I don't know if he had to kill anybody to clear that area out, but pretty much had a free grab. So all of that armor going to Allstars, although look at the damage they've taken. So DW actually did a pretty good job of negating that belt. And that seems to just be a general advantage for them. The fighting over the belt room seems like it's going in EW's favor, just on the whole. We do have an amp run, this time by Rookie. He goes down. There have been so few real clean runs with this amp. I mean, it seems like it's just a death trap. Oh, Alpha steals 100 armor right there. Deity picking up the amp, only has rocket launcher. He's going to be able to grab a shock rifle. I'm kind of surprised that shock hasn't been fought over. Fantasy going down from behind, and suddenly a 6 frag lead for DW, running back out in front. This was basically matching the biggest lead that Allstars had. So a nice turnaround there by DW. Able to steal some of those armors, still controlling that belt. Still anyone's game though, with 5 minutes to go. 7 kills can happen in an instant in 4-on-4. Pushing it up to 8 now though. And look at that armor. DW has armor on almost every player. Reflex does grab that 100 armor vest right as I say that. And the biggest difference that I'm seeing right now is when Allstars has been getting some of the major power-ups, be it amp or belt, DW's been doing a great job of negating those, either taking out the armor immediately or killing them outright. We haven't seen any major amp runs for either side. So while Allstars has been in position for amp, in fact, I think they maybe have, yeah, in fact, DW hasn't grabbed an amp off the spawn yet. But Allstars hasn't been doing much with them. So that could be a critical difference here. If they're trying to come back, we've got amp and belt spawning at the same time. Reflex with a nice boot jump. Rocket. Got Scandalous fighting down at the bottom. I wonder if he'll be able to, he does still have, actually, okay. I was like, I wonder if he's going to actually go back up for the amp. Leaves it for Rookie. Rookie's got the amp and a sniper rifle, a little bit of armor. This is a dangerous position for DW to be in. Interesting by Rain to chase him down. Only a sniper rifle in his possession, though. And Alpha going on a killing spree. Reflex at the same time, though, opposite. Still a 10 frag lead. And this is what we're seeing. Rookie there, just nobody to shoot at. Fantasy here does have a little bit of an opportunity to get a kill with it. But not much happening. So Allstars dominating the amp, but not getting many points off of it so far. There'll be a couple more opportunities for them left in this one, though. Still 2 more amps to spawn. And that could be the difference maker as they push it to an 11 frag lead for DW. I think what Allstars was really hoping to do here was dominate the vest, dominate the amp, and have, you know, Rookie and Reflex running around with amp sniper rifle popping heads off. They got most of those goals accomplished except for that last one. They've had some of their best aimers with the amp in their hands and with the sniper rifle, and sometimes even with armor, but they're running into flak balls, they're running into combo, they're just not able to, at times, even find anyone to shoot at, and that's kind of the nature of this map. So we'll go back over. You see Fusion once again in position for this 100 armor. Doesn't even need it. Maybe going to call over a teammate. Yeah, exactly. So smart play there. Calling a teammate over to spawn, or to grab it off the spawn. That's one of those little things that we talk about. That can be such a huge difference. And then Fusion gets a multi-kill with rockets. Clearing out the amp room. That could be the turnaround they needed. Reflex, only 26 HP. He goes down, but he has teammates right next to him, and they all have armor. We'll go on board with Rookie. This is as good of a chance as he's had. He has some targets in front of him. This time he's got the link gun out. Maybe a better strategy on this map if he can close the gap. Again, they've been running around with amp sniper rifle all game and haven't been able to find targets. But look at this. Still struggling to find anyone to even shoot at. And I don't know if that's DW doing a great job of hiding, or if Allstars is just struggling to communicate. You do see that on this map sometimes, though. This isn't completely, like, surprising or unprecedented. It's just a tough map sometimes to find targets. Oh, and Rookie takes himself out against Scandalous. Down to a 7 frag lead, though, and you saw a bunch of kills. Allstars now in control of the map. A minute and a half is an eternity if you've got control. Cuts it to a 7 frag lead. It's exactly what they wanted to see right now. Reflex taking out Deity. They're looking for fresh spawns and essentially just trying to time power-ups and be as aggressive as possible. Alpha getting the double kill off screen. That was huge. Reflex needs to find some targets right now. There's 1 kill. Down to a 6 frag lead again. Has a chance at another right here. Amp will be up in 14 seconds. that could be the difference in the game. If Allstars wants to come back, they need that amp. So here it is, up top. We've got Shock Rifle down by it. Back up to 8, though, so DW doing a great job of answering the call. Allstars, remember, got a multi-kill off Fusion not even a minute ago, so it reset all of DW's players. And here's the amp run. Rookie with one more chance to try to bring it back. Needs 7 kills. He's got 2 players below him. He can maybe do some damage here. One goes down. They have to find them off the spawn, and I think that's what they've been struggling to do, is finding fresh spawners to take shots at. DW, you can see all crouching around, just trying to be hidden and be sneaky. Only 10 seconds left on this amp, only 17 seconds left in the game. They only need 4 kills, though. If they can find anyone, they have to just barrel straight at them. And DW right now, 3 frag lead. There's one more shot. If he can hit this one, that'll pull them within 2. Only 3 seconds to go, though. Can they stay hidden? There's a rocket flying at them, and they do. DW hangs on. And Allstars dropping the very first point that they've dropped so far in the season. Maybe a bit of an upset there. I think that's fair to say. Alpha having a huge game. And you can see the difference in power-ups and the difference in strategies there. It actually looks like Allstars did come back and get control of the belts. I mean, just in general, look at the item control, but then the difference in damage and how that doesn't necessarily correlate. Really, really interesting. If someone's looking to dig into, like, you know, make like a textbook page over team deathmatch and different strategies and how controlling this affects that, that would be a fascinating game to go back and really dig into and watch. Unfortunately, we don't have the time for that today because we have a lot more video games to play. So that was on the London hub. We're going to head now over to the North American hub, let them get up and running for map 2. Yeah, I mean, I would say DW has been a bit, they've been promising, if a bit inconsistent at times. So them taking a map, like, I don't think it would surprise anyone to see DW take a map off of any team. But you would still call that, I think an upset. I mean, I think Allstars in general would be favored over DW. But it was extremely close. So, I don't know, like I say, maybe unexpected. I wouldn't call it like a huge upset there. If anything, it shows just the potential of DW. Whenever they play at their best, you know, they can take out anyone in any given map. Oh yeah, let me get the that FPS off the screen. There we go. So we wait for this hub to pop back up. Do keep in mind, though, at the end of this season, we will have a playoff. It's not just going to be straight points. So every match matters, every point matters. But if you do drop one, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You can come back, you can make up for it. You might have to fight through a harder bracket. You might have a lower seed, but you can make it up.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right, so map 2 looks like we're going to be on Nitro. I'm always very curious. I really have no idea which teams do or don't play Nitro. A lot of teams have been practicing it a lot because it's got added in. I mean, it's a relatively new map for some of them. I think this style of map, I would think this style of map actually benefits Allstars more so than one like Temple. You can imagine some of those amp runs we saw on Temple where Allstars dominated the amp, but they'd be running around with Rookie and Reflex with amp sniper rifles, which on paper is exactly what you want. That's a formula for success, right? But you're running around tight corridors, you're playing, you know, egg hunt, looking for enemy players, and when you do see them, they're throwing flak and rockets behind them around corners half the time. It can be very tricky to actually get any meaningful damage with that amp. Map like this, amp is right up top, right next to sniper rifle. You get Rookie or Reflex or, I mean, you know, any good player up top like that, they're going to have many more targets to choose from. It's much harder to hide from an amp runner on this map. It's a much messier map in that sense. I'd say it's just a more open map. Temple is messy in the sense that it's very close range. You're not always in the optimal range for whatever weapon you have. You saw a lot of close range sniper and people struggling with that in the map 1. This map, you can kind of play it how you want. If you want to make it close range, if you want to fight over that shield belt room with rockets and flak, you can do so. If you want to run around mid with the sniper and shock, you can do so. And it looks like we will have a substitution. So Demon jumping in for Fantasy. All-Stars, of course, with a pretty stacked roster. Plenty of people. We've seen lots of people come in and out throughout all game types. 1v1, 2v2, 4v4. So not a surprise necessarily to see them subbing people. They certainly have plenty that are available. So if they have favorite or least favorite maps, you know, not shocking to see them rotate folks out. That said, mostly the same lineup here. I'm not sure what lineup they've been practicing with on this map in particular. Sometimes you even just practice with certain lineups on certain maps. Huh. Oh, I see. Looks like a bunch of folks crashed whenever they were joining the game. Not sure what that's all about, honestly. So we'll get people back in. Bear with us as we get everyone situated, loaded in. I'm just gonna sip on my tea, and of course by tea I mean my double batch of black tea that I turned into adult caffeinated Gatorade, or excuse me, adult caffeinated Kool-Aid, I should say. Because I'm from the South, y'all. Oh, we have peaches. I could have put a peach in it. Dang. Maybe I'll just go grab a peach in between one of these matches and just swish it around in my mouth a little bit. We'll turn it into an ASMR channel at the same time. Okay, it looks like server's having some weird issues. So they're gonna throw up the GCP East server and jump on there. Yeah, I mean, you see Alpha with 180. East Coast guys pinging 88 to New York City. Definitely not normal. Maybe some routing issues, you know, the internet is the internet. The internet was designed to be a scalable, flexible, decentralized communication platform so that in the event of a nuclear war, high-level military personnel would still have access to pornography. Shout out to 3 Dead Trolls in a Baggie. Some of the original comedy internet videos, this was, for those of you who don't remember the pre-YouTube days, you had to find websites where people made their own, Flash content in the Shockwave Flash player. They had to animate it. I mean, even going back to like the Strong Bad days, which are all on YouTube, by the way. You don't get the interactive, like the Easter egg bits of trying to find what to click on and such, but if you're looking for some nostalgia, most of that stuff at this point has been converted. And luckily, a lot of that stuff these days, the original creators have realized that they can put it online themselves and get, at the very least, recognition, if not some amount of money off of it. So that's always nice. So GCP East should be coming up soon as we continue right along here. You know, when I was in the market for a luchador mask, I thought about looking for a strong bad one or making one. I ended up going with a green and purple and silver one because I wanted it to be kind of Mardi Gras colors. And people still always think I'm Nacho Libre. I got called Rey Mysterio once, and I was like, okay, no, but close. That's better. That's a much more legitimate... You got some luchador street cred, at least dropping that name. There's actually a luchador documentary series on something, Netflix or something my girlfriend was watching recently. That's really interesting. I don't know if that conflicts with any of our sponsors or anything, but... Yeah, I don't believe we currently have a luchador sponsorship, so if anyone wants to sponsor myself personally or Razor Edge Gaming with a luchador sponsorship, hit us up. I'm going to refresh the hub. I still don't see GCP. There it is. Okay. So yeah, Nitro. Kind of, I wouldn't say it's the opposite. A very different map than Temple. Almost as different as you can get in this game. It adds a keg, so there's another major power-up. One more thing to kind of scramble around and grab. It's also a much smaller and much more open map. You could play this map 2v2 if you wanted to, based on the size and layout. So this map is going to be a brawl. It's basically a street fight. Pure fragging ability, I think, takes you a lot further in this map. And I think that's maybe what I mean ultimately from the difference in play styles. Allstars has that classic North American, like, we just want to get you in a one-on-one situation and out-aim you kind of strategy. DW, you know, very much reliant on positioning. You saw the end of the last map where, I mean, that was pure positioning. That was just hide and seek at that point. So would not be surprised to see Allstars take this one. But anything can happen, and we're going to find out right now. All right, players are ready. Here is your countdown, 3, 2, 1, and it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here with map 2 between DW and Allstars. We saw DW holding on. What was it, a 3-frag win at the end there? Just running the clock out. Allstars was on a roll with a comeback and just managed to hang on at the last second. Allstars, you know, is feeling, looking for some revenge. Oh, and Alpha feeds Rookie a flak ball. Don't boop the flak balls, folks. It's hazardous to your health. But this is going to be a very long, very high-scoring game right here. A much smaller map than Temple. And it's also going to be one where I'd be very curious to find out how the power-up control differs. So in Temple, you had DW dominating the belt early on. Vest was incredibly one-sided for Allstars control. And then the amp was also extremely one-sided. Allstars got what they wanted there. They just couldn't capitalize, and they were unable to make the best use of those power-ups. They couldn't really get any amp runs strung together. And this is a map where positioning and routes differ a lot. Different teams really like to play it differently. Oh, Rain with the defensive flat primary shredding them. So here we've got Amp, 100 armor, and Keg all spawning at once. And this is what I mean. You really have some decisions to make on this map. And that's the kind of the wrench that Keg throws into the mix. It's much harder to just control every single item because you can't just run 2 or 3 people to them in order. You really have to split up or make some concessions. Here we see Reflex, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Now you got someone like Rookie or Reflex. They were running around the map, Amp Sniper Rifle, trying to find people on Temple. It's so much harder. This is the kind of map where someone like Reflex can do just this. This is the same situation he was in first map and was struggling to find 1 or 2 kills. Here he can run around the map, just be a human turret, get 4, 5, 6 kills like that. Does go down. Nice goose shot defensively. And we do see Deity picking up that shield belt. But runs like that, I think, are going to be the difference. I think just if both teams play exactly the same as last map and both play exactly as well as they did, I think this is going to look totally different just because of the map itself. That said, DW might have an answer. I mean, they're already down big early on, but they might have an idea for how to play this differently. Certainly, I don't think this is a map where you can concede the amp in the same way that they did Temple. In Temple, they were basically just giving it up, but like baiting them into spam or killing them in midair on the way to it. It was basically a trap. They were either going to try to kill you on the way to it or after grabbing it, or then just run away and just hide and like dare you to jump into their spam. Oh, the dive back. Alpha actually killing Deity. Really, Deity killed himself on Alpha's bio rifle, to be fair. Ooh, an amp and belt under reflexes. And some vials as well. So reflex right now looking like a tank. That double damage sniper rifle is going to be able to insta-give most people on this map. Looking for some easy low-hanging fruit here. He's got 3 people in front of him. Don't know if he knows that. He maybe caught a glimpse. Oh, 1 goes down. Oh, just a little bit late on that lift to get that last shot off, but you can see already a pretty big lead. I mean, you're looking at more than doubled up. In fact, more than tripled up at this point. Up to a 27 frag lead for Allstars. It's fair to point out the ping difference. We'll check it out here. Of course, we played the first map on a European hub, so Allstars had a ping disadvantage here, playing on a North American hub. So DW is playing with higher pings. Absolutely fair to point that out in any of these transcontinental matchups that we have for you today. That said, I think, honestly, I mean, look at the damage difference. I just think it's the nature of the map. I think the map picks are making the difference here, and sometimes we do see that. So whenever you know you're going to have a disadvantage, sometimes teams actually pick against themselves. So it's possible there. It's possible that Allstars said, well, if we're going to try to beat them with high ping, let's try to beat them on a bad map for us. That way we can make sure that we're playing a good map for us with good pings. For that kind of, I don't want to say guaranteed win, but more confident win there. Possibility. It's a strategy we've heard people talk about in the past and definitely employ in this format. And Reflex just going nuts again. I mean, you can see right there, already 68 sniper shots fired 5 minutes into this game. Another killing spree. And this is exactly what he wanted to do in map 1. And largely had the opportunities, but just couldn't find those targets. Again, Temple being a much bigger, more complex map, was really just looking for needles and haystacks. This time, I mean, he doesn't even need any other weapons. He's just running around with that sniper rifle, looking for respawners. Ah, never mind. There's a couple of flat primaries. Just juices them in midair. And so if anybody wants a smoothie, you know who to call. And control of the map really being dominated right now. We'll take a quick look at this. Allstars all over the belts this time, all over the amps. Not a single second of amp for DW this round. Back and forth on the 100 armors. We don't have Keg on the scoreboard yet. And there's another double kill. So Reflex on a rampage now, and he's going to get another amp in his hands. He does need to scoop up some health. There's 10 seconds till the belt spawns. They may give that belt to him. He's on a rampage, so if nothing else... Oh, nice kills right there. Oh, they're not going to give him the belt. Interesting. He's going to go for the kill. Flat, close range, and oh, actually goes down to the rockets from behind. So Reflex goes down. Killing spree ended. That will give the amp back to Rain. That's the first time this amp has been touched by DW almost halfway into this one. Demon on a killing spree now. I think Demon and Fusion, right? No, Fusion just went down. Definitely jinxed him, but Demon on a killing spree. We've seen pretty much, I think everyone's gone on a spree so far this game except Rookie. Oh, and another big flak. So right now, we've actually seen a lot of flak usage. I think we do have an extra flak on this version of the map, though, if I'm not mistaken. But lots of flak coming out from Allstars. Kind of surprised because we didn't see that much flak from them in map 1 Temple, which is a much more... I wouldn't say a flak heavy map. I think flak can be extra effective on that map due to the architecture and how close range it is. So Fusion's scooping up the belt. Kind of curious. So Fusion had a little bit of armor They're going to give him the belt and give him the amp this time. Oh, and he takes 2 big shots. Just erases that belt and the amp. Nice defense there by DW to end that, well, the spree and the run. Reflex has the amp again in his hands. You see him going straight for that sniper rifle. Not surprising in the least. And smart play here using that Stinger ult. It's so hard to get away from, and now it does 24 damage whenever you've got amp. That just absolutely melts you. So we are a little bit past the halfway point. You can see the score, 50-point lead for Allstars, answering big time after dropping map 1, really just running out of time there. DW had built a big lead in the last couple minutes. Allstars came storming back and just tried to hunt them down, ran out of time as DW was able to stretch that clock out. I think it was about a 2 or 3 point deficit by the end. Very, very close game. You didn't catch it, definitely go back and watch it in the VODs. And here Allstars playing on a map, A, you know, their own hub, their kind of home field, getting the ping advantage, and B, playing on a map that I think is much more their style and benefits their play style better. Really showing what they can do here. Oh, the amped headshot by Reflex. Already over 100 frags. Reflex running around 30 and 10 right now. You got Fusion at 29 and 9. Couple of big games here, and Reflex having none of those shenanigans from Rain. The left right spam. He goes, you know what? Have a rocket and a smile. Oh, the last second snipe. Reflex right now feeling himself, and that could be problems. I don't know if he's slated to play, you know, any other of matches beyond the 4v4, but you get a guy like that going, you get him into a rhythm. And meanwhile, I was saying, Rookie, the only one that hadn't gone on a killing spree for Allstars, and he just finally gets one of his own. So everyone on Allstars right now clicking. And with 5 minutes to go, going to be a really, really tough task for DW to try to pull this one back. I'm a sucker for lock-on rockets, y'all, so... Oh, and Rookie kills himself right on DD. It's a second Scorched Earth double KO we've seen of the day with rockets. We do have Amp up, so fortunately for him, he spawns right by Amp. Belt is also up. If he can grab a sniper rifle here, this could be a good situation for Rookie to pad his stats, I guess. Ooh, 2 quick shots in a row. DD, though, hangs in there and gets the kill on both of them. DD with 1 HP in the double kill. Earns him about 3 seconds of amp time, but a nice defensive stinger. You don't really see that coming out all that much, but especially in stock, man, once you get that stinger going, if you can spam that down a hallway or spam that behind you, I mean, you can really just churn out the damage. And another couple of kills. DD with a nice run there, given his HP the whole time. Oh, big flak ball's coming out. Deity that time, just getting pushed out. So Allstars, oh, and another Deity right now. I mean, I've just kept the camera on them because he's been in the thick of the action, but he's been defending himself rather well this game. We've seen some big kills with a flak and even a stinger coming out there. Big damage there, though he does go down. So DW not giving up, still playing hard. And remember, this is just the second game. These two have best of 3 2v2 coming up after this, and then 2 best of 3 duels. So still a long way to go. Still 3 points on the board. Oh, and it looks like DW actually grabbed potentially an amp off the spawn. We didn't see it grabbed, but they had yet to grab an amp off the spawn. They had only had a couple of times that they touched it. Yeah, that was their first grab off the spawn there, and you see a few seconds passing it back and forth, so not going to really allow them to erase this sort of deficit, but, you know, progress. All right, so Allstars definitely carrying this one strong, running away with it a bit. Just going to try to give us... Oh, an air rocket by Rookie. I was about to say, just looking for some highlights at this point. Maybe we'll see if Rookie can give us another air rocket or maybe even some lock-on rockets. I'm a sucker for lock-on rockets, I'm not going to lie. Reflex with the amp once again. How many amps has he gotten? I feel like it's been 5 or 6. And you see exactly why. He's just been on fire with the sniper. Oof, and the killing spree just like that. I mean, how many times... I think he got more kills with the amp in that 10-second period. Oh my god, just going nuts right now. Reflex, no mercy. Closing this one off with the amp stamp. And Reflex almost dropping a 50 bomb. 6k damage. It's a big, big number right there. And you can see, I mean, the stats as far as the power-up control, definitely all going to All-Stars this time. A little bit more even on the 100 armors. But this time they just got what they wanted. I mean, when they had Rookie and Reflex, particularly Reflex with that amp and sniper rifle in his hands, he was able to find targets. He was able to get in one-on-one situations. You know, he would have sniper, they would have rockets across the map, right? Favorable situations. On Temple, they were just unable to do that. I think they more or less got what they wanted on Temple. The question is, you know, maybe they needed to reevaluate what they wanted, because they definitely, that strategy definitely worked out for them on that map, just absolutely steamrolling. All right, not sure which hub we're going to kick off the 2v2 portion in. So we'll just keep an eye out here. We'll let it pop up naturally. I guess we'll take a quick look at the bracket. So those of you who may or may not know, this is going to be a double header for All-Stars, playing DW and then Sons of Death directly afterwards. Then Mesa Gaming versus LATAM as the late game. I know that's going to be kind of late for you folks across the pond, but you're going to want to keep an eye on that one. Those two teams, two very interesting up-and-coming teams. And two teams that have been playing a lot against each other in practice from what I've seen. So very, very curious to find out not only how they play against each other, but even what maps they pick. So really an intriguing one there. And a North American versus South American matchup. So really going all across the world. We've got two NA versus European, then NA versus SA. Going to be a long day. I think this is the only 5-match day that we have this season. But if you want to prove me wrong, go to UTProLeague.com. Of course, it has the whole schedule, has all the rankings and everything. We'll give you a look at that. Of course, these will all be updated after the end of the day with all of the standings and the points and such. So if you want to follow along at home, that's where you go, UTProLeague.com. And of course, all of the Raise Your Edge Gaming, social media, and all of that business. I believe they have a YouTube channel as well that they've been uploading all the VODs to, with timestamps and all that good stuff. And again, if you missed match 1 here between DW and All-Stars, a nail-biter of a TDM game. Really just textbook stuff. You certainly owe it to yourself to go back and take a look at it. Would love for someone to do like like a John Madden, Pat Summerall breakdown of that game. Need like a telestrator, need to draw some arrows and some circles and all of that. The X's and O's of that game were fascinating. This is as someone who used to watch back in the 2K4 days, SK versus Fanatics CPL match on Asbestos. I used to watch that for, years just to try to like learn all the nuances of how they played that. So I'm presuming we're either going to be on GCP East again if we're starting in NA or jumping back over to London. I don't see either one up. Oh, UT London's up. There we go. So that'll be the game. It looks like we got Demon and Rookie against Repeat and Deity. All right, map 1 gonna be ranking. You can see we're in the European hub, so that means this would be All-Stars map pick. And given the history of their players, it definitely seems like a smart map pick. Heavy 2K4 history and influence there. Be very curious to see what DW picked for map 2. All right, players are ready. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. Man, it's game time, baby. ConX5 jumping in to the 2v2 portion of this matchup. We saw them split 4v4 games. Now we've got DW versus All-Stars. Best of 3 2v2. We're going to kick it off on ranking. Repeat with the first blood. You can see Deity just very happy to kind of saunter around the map and pick up some health files. He's really looking... Oh, and a nice flak ball. I was saying he was looking for a shock rifle. And the flak boop just erases him, though. Earns him that shock that he was looking for, trying to circle around to that sniper rifle. Of course, such an important area of the map to control. There's probably about 10 or 12 health vials right nearby there, as well as shock and sniper. Easy access to the 100 armor. Oh, Deity going down at 25 HP. We got the belt spawning in 5 seconds. We're going to back up. You see the fight. All-Stars comes barreling around the corner. We got a one-on-one, and it goes down. With 2 HP left, Repeat gets away with that belt. He's still going to be very vulnerable. Gets 50 health in him, and that'll make him much more durable. He's got Rookie with a sniper rifle above him. Demon did pick up the 100 armor. 100 armor can be at least as important on this map as the belt, especially in 2v2 where you can get away with it much cleaner than in something like 4v4. Oh, and here is the chase down, just getting cornered. And Amp is up. It will go to Rookie. Everyone's armor got melted away in that big scrum, so keep an eye out now. Everyone's going to be relatively weak. Deity did grab that 100 armor. 50 is up. It looks like Rookie's going to go for it to back up that Amp. Probably a smart play. They're pinned in here just a little bit, so maybe not an ideal situation to try to go on much of an Amp run. Maybe just try to establish some map control. They do have the belt spawning in 5 seconds, so I actually kind of like this play. What they're doing is they're just zoning them out. They're daring them to dive at them and push them away from the belt. Doesn't happen, so they get a pretty free, untouched grab of that belt. And then a one-on-one fight with Deity that he escaped. So smart play there by All-Stars. They didn't really have a great opportunity to go on an aggressive run, so they just used it passively. Nice rising combo. And we're seeing a very methodical response here by All-Stars trying to take back control of the map. Ooh, close range sniper though. Rocket's coming down from above, a little bit of damage. Oh, and the ricochet flak off the wall by Rookie, gonna get himself a kill and tie it back up. Actually, no, Repeat tied it back up with the enforcer after that gave them the lead. So there's the killing spree by Rookie. Back up by 1. You do have both power-ups spawning right now. Oh, Amp is up now. DW in position. All-Stars, though, does have the ability to knock them back. Shock rifle in Repeat's hands will go on board with him. He's trapped in the corner, turns around, gets 1 kill. Has the ability to get a second one. There's a big shot right there. He does finally go down to the sniper. And now Rookie's going to try to equalize that. They do have a 2-frag lead. Nice shot walking up the ramp, and that's one thing to keep an eye on. So this map is a little bit unique in how often you're changing your elevation mid-combat, whether it's dodge ramps, whether it's just the regular ramps. You're very often, you know, either falling off a ledge or chasing down a ramp. It's not the weirdest thing in the world, but it's kind of it's a slightly different skill set, being able to track your aim vertically versus horizontally. And having played this map a ton makes it much easier to just instinctively do that. You're mostly going to see that with something like combos as well, like tracking your shock balls. Rookie right now, with that extra armor, able to be extra aggressive. Do have the 100 armor back up. It's going to be a bit of a fight over, and Rookie gets there just in time. Deity, unfortunate for him, but eats a combo. So we do have Amp spawning soon. Rookie's still got sniper rifle and some armor. This would be a great situation for Allstars to try to extend this lead if they can grab it clean. And they do. Deity's up top, but no armor and not a whole lot of weapons to work with. Now the problem here is that Demon was down low with him, so they didn't really establish any control up top with that. They did give up a sniper rifle. In fact, they gave up the 100 armor as well. It does get negated in 2 quick shots by Rookie. Erases that. Demon gets a kill off screen, and they are on a roll now. Allstars in control of the map and trying to extend this lead. I like that defense there by DW, Link and Stinger. It's basically just daring people to attack them. Doesn't exactly work out, but they do some heavy damage. I mean, Rookie and Demon are both under 60 HP now. They're having to back up. Oh, that flak ball just misses. You saw the smiley face in Rookie defending himself with that sniper rifle. The headshot by Deity does put him down, though. Trade's going back and forth. Demon does grab himself a killing spree now. Oh, Yashida. Demon breaking out a brand new roll of shock tape. Why would you need any other buttons when you've got a shock rifle? You can just hold down the left click and win. In any case, up to a 10 frag lead for Allstars. Amp is up. Rookie may be able to grab it here. He gets the enforcer kill the old-fashioned way, and now he's got an enforcer with double damage. Has to be careful here, though. Doesn't want to drop it to the teammate. Oh, and Demon comes around the corner with the coverage. And Demon actually drops him a sniper rifle to go with that amp, and that's a smart play, but they don't really have any armors up for him to stock up on, so he has to be careful. With 11 HP, he'll take any health he can get. And there he goes. Going to circle around up top. Not really get much out of that amp at this point. Oh, there's one shot. Okay, at the very last second. Curves the bullet and gets a last second pixel shot around the corner. Needs one more shot on Deity to take him out. There it is. A Rookie right now, look how confident he's playing. Like, it's a one-on-one situation there. One shot would have taken him down. And he just didn't care. Dove right at him. And some of these top tier snipers in the game, you'll see them use the weapon in situations when other people shouldn't. So you might see Rookie in some situations, you're like, why is he pulling out the sniper rifle when he's 20 feet away against a flat cannon and he has a rocket launcher? Why would he do that? And it's because if you can shoot that accurately, if you're going to shoot that 40 to 50% kind of accuracy, you can actually make those decisions. You can make it work when it might not actually be a smart play for someone else. So Amp does spawn soon. We're halfway through this one, and a pretty sizable lead being built here by Allstars. No crazy sprees or ridiculous Amp runs or anything yet. Just kind of grinding their way out. DW has made them work for it, but every time they trade kills back and forth, Allstars is getting, 5-6 kills, and then DW will get 2 or 3 kills. And that's how you end up with a double-digit lead like this. Also, really been doing a great job of cycling through the power-ups. So take a look at the power-ups. 5 to 3 belts. Pretty even on 100 armors. Look at that amp time. And both players on a killing spree right now for All-Stars. Really looking to put this one away early. Oh, nice follow-up combo there. So this is a map, even in 2v2, where if you can predict where the enemy will respawn, you can get some quick damage on them. It's not as easy. Personally, I don't find it as easy as 2K4 to get an actual just straight-up true spawn kill. But you can really trap people in some tough situations to get some damage. Oh, and Deity drops down, missing that short-range rocket launcher. And that's what I was talking about. Rookie pulling out the shock. When, you know, maybe most people you would say should have pulled out flak rockets, makes it work. And now All-Stars again, both running around with armor, amp in their hands, full assortment of weapons, giving themselves every advantage to just keep rolling here. Oh, Deity with the Enforcer kill. And Repeat with a kill. So for the first time in a while, both All-Stars players are going to be reset at the same time. We'll see if DW can build anything off of this. They might be out of time to actually come back, but again, it's a best of 3. They'll be changing servers and changing maps after this. So for DW, you know, maybe you just try to gain some momentum. I mean, they split the 4v4s. They know that philosophically, you know, they can beat All-Stars. Oh, the Link. Shredding down his armor, but when you have that much armor, it just allows you to stand in there and tank it. All right, we do have amp spawning soon, so we'll back up. There is your double damage. And it's up. Nobody waiting for it. Things getting a little bit sloppy towards the end here, of course. With this big of a deficit, it can be really difficult for DW to try to keep track of timings. And if you're All-Stars in this case, you're maybe just trying to kind of, you know, stay aggressive and focusing more on churning out kills. Definitely want to maintain control of the map at the same time. Demon on a killing spree himself. He does go down. The amp's gonna drop right by the belt over there, and Repeat with an amp sniper rifle in his hands. This could be dangerous. Oh, there's a shot right there on Rookie. This will be insta-gib. If he can find Rookie, he can maybe get another kill off the spawn. Demon just getting right in his face with the Enforcer, making him very uncomfortable. Nice double sniper shots there, but unfortunately, he hit him on the guy with the 100 armor. Survives, takes him out, and then there's the revenge kill. And actually a double kill off the revenge, so Repeat. Smart play there, knowing the situation, knowing how weak his opponents were after killing him. Chases them down with the Stinger, nowhere to go. There is your 3-minute warning. So DW, fighting their way back into a certain extent. I mean, again, I think it's out of reach mathematically at this point, but I mean, you look at it, it's about a 23-point game now. Back up to a 21-point game now. So the second half of this one, DW is kind of turned things around to a certain extent. Not going to matter in trying to win this map, but when you're trying to get your head back in it, when you're trying to stay focused and get ready for map 2, it can be extremely critical sometimes just to have that moment, have that high note to end on. We've seen teams where they're basically, you know, the game's out of reach. They fight back in, they get a killing spree or something, and then as soon as they die again, they just go ahead and GG because they just wanted that feeling. They just wanted that confidence builder of, okay, yeah, if we get control, we can make something happen. We just have to reset map 2 and get going. Ooh, Demon taking him out with a sniper rifle. Not a huge amp run there, but using it to control the map. We do have the belt spawning soon. Rookie right on top of it. Oh, dodging those rockets. You saw him weaving left, right, left, right. Looked like a bullet hell shooter right there. Check in on the scoreboard here. I'm actually a little bit surprised that the armors have been this well distributed. I mean, 12 to 11 for the 100, 8 to 5 for the belt. I expect it to be much more one-sided given what we're seeing. But I think what we're seeing, though, from Allstars is they're trying to chase down people off the spawn. And so rather than controlling the map, which would usually give you that 100 armor vest, typically whoever's in control of the map, they'll be sitting up top, they'll be grabbing the snipers, grabbing those hundreds and vials. They've been being a little bit more aggressive, chasing them down off the spawn, keeping that pressure on them so that even when DW does respawn and get a free grab of that vest, they're still running around with no weapons. They're still being chased down by things like Amp. You see the Enforcer sniping going on. Oh, this is going to be... Amp Link just melts him right there. You see diving into a Link gun like that, always scary when you double the damage. You just don't last very long. Rookie saying, there's health bubbles up, there's health bubbles up, grab it. Nice play there, and the sniper rifle coming into play. Oh, and the double shot, the sniper and the shock. Nice teamwork with the focus fire, putting it away. And Allstars cruising to a victory in map 1. Gonna make it about a 20-point lead. They pretty much built a 20-point lead about, what, 4 or 5 minutes into this one. So just been really on cruise control since. Kind of controlling that map and riding into the sunset. So map 1 victory to Allstars. Map 2 will be on the North American hub, but it will be DW's map choice. So we'll see what they choose, we'll see what they play, and we'll see what happens next. So I don't know, chat. What do you think? If you were picking this map, if you were DW, and I know they've already picked it, but if you were trying to pick a 2v2 map against Allstars, what do you go with? I think what we saw on on Temple, as opposed to Nitro, is if you can catch them in a map where they can't catch you in those duels, in those aim versus aim, like Revolutionary War, well, American Revolutionary War style, duels, you maybe have a chance. So I don't know. I think, maybe a map like Codex, something that's maybe if you have UT99 players that are used to those maps, you certainly, I don't think, want to play them on deck. I'm just throwing the question out there, y'all. Because as someone who has been in that situation, both in pugs and in matches, I mean, I've been in both where we get stomped first map. I mean, I've been in matches where we lost way worse than that first map, and then we turn it around and end up winning. We've even seen in UTPL where teams are dominant one map, and you flip-flops right around the second map. Servers be damned. So it's always fascinating to me how teams can overcome that. Teams can split maps. Build around your skill set, build around your history. Someone who played UT99 for 10 years and never touched 2K4, they're going to be way more familiar on, Codex and Amp, or excuse me, Codex and Deck. If you're new to UT4, a map like this is going to be much more familiar to you. So anyway, we're on solo, so this is an interesting pick. Anyway, players are ready. Here's a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and it's game time, baby. Connex 5 bringing you map 2. We just saw Allstars with a comfortable win on Rankin, trying to snag another point in this matchup. DW trying to force a tiebreaker map in this 2v2 portion of the matchup. Early on, a quick lead by DW. This is their map pick. Be interesting to see how that works out. Demon answers back with the first kill for Allstars. So we got 25 seconds till that belt spawns. Remember, you have belt and 100 at the same time. This is one of those maps where they're going to be so far apart, you really have to decide. Do you concede one? Do you split up? How do you play it? We're going to bring you back to that belt room. You can see all the fighting on the backside. Demon and Rookie, they're doing a great job of splitting them up and focusing their fire. Always going to be harder to fight 2v1. DD does grab that 100 armor across the map, so pretty much normal timing for the two. They'll be up essentially at the same time every other spawn of the 100 at this point. Oh, Rookie air rocketing Demon. One of the sickest air rocks of the day coming out from Rookie there. Unfortunately, shooting at the wrong color. Ooh, almost. There we go. There's the shot he was looking for, and it's double shot. The sniper back to back. Rookie actually picking up that amp, and that's something that again I always like to point out. When a team drops the amp and their teammates there to pick it up. Nice rising sniper there by Rookie. On a roll right now with 6 straight kills. Oh, and he eats the stinger. Goes down, and just like that, DW takes both armors. This could be a turning point for them. They're only down by 1, but now they're both basically got double the health and armor of either all-star player. Can they convert that into some frags and take the lead back? Rookie with just bio rifle manages to sneak in and snag that 100. He's going down though, down to 8 HP. So he goes down. Demon also goes down. The double kill there by Deity. He's only got 16 HP himself. Right now these teams are just beating up each other. Every time one team wins a fight, other team storms right back at them. No one's really grabbed a foothold so far. We'll see if the amp makes a difference there. We have 100 armor, shield belt, and amp all spawning at basically the same time. Oh, big kill right there. Both players for DW go down. So amp goes to All-Stars. They're going to circle around. Looks like he's going to try to grab that 100 armor. Belt went to Rookie, so a huge take right there by All-Stars, completely scooping up everything in the map. Even the 50 armor is theirs. Absolute dominant control for this round of power-ups. Same question though for them. Can they turn out some points with that? Can they convert that into a bigger lead? When DW scooped up both armors, they did an all-right job, but weren't really able to extend much of a lead. And Demon feeds Repeat a flak ball. I think he even teabags the corpse a little bit just for good measure. Really wasn't much of a corpse left, and another one on Repeat. I'm not sure if you want to teabag a pool of blood, but then he answers the call. Repeat flaks him right back in the face. This may be the biggest lead we've seen so far. Only 4 frags as these teams have been back and forth. Oh, and Demon kills himself on the shield belt. Who's going to get back to it first? Rookie's in position. Not ideal since he already had armor, but keeps it away from the opponent. Takes a little bit of flak damage. Looking for that shot combo. Rising up to him, but can't get it. Oh, and Repeat with the beautiful flank. Right up top. Helps his teammate out. Amp's going to be spawning in 5 seconds. We'll see who's in position. You got Repeat on top of it. Deity giving him cover. Amp does go to Repeat with a sniper rifle. He's got Demon right in front of him, though. Demon, though, only has 55 HP. He's got to be careful here. Oh, he gets the kill. Actually, Demon and Deity killed each other, so dead even trade there. That will leave Repeat. Oh, and the Amped headshot. Rookie got that 100 armor and got his head taken off as a reward. I guess in a sense he did keep that 100 armor away from Repeat, which I suppose is useful. But Repeat with a huge amp run right there gives them the lead. And 2 back-to-back snipers by Demon now. Lead right back to All-Stars, and that also gives them the belt and the ability to be aggressive here. They convert another kill off it. Remember, this is a duel map, so it's a fairly small map for 2v2. It's one where you can definitely rack up some spawn kills if you get people respawning, you get to chase them down. if you do assert that map control, you do have these periods like Allstars has right now. They have that extra armor. You got to turn that into points. We've already seen how quick DW can flip that back around. Demon with the chase down with Enforcer doesn't even turn around to face him. We do have Belt up in 10, Amps up in 2 seconds, and Rookie with the completely free grab of Amp. Interesting, everyone going for Belt. Amp spawned first. He's going to come up, going to knock him off it and grab Belt. Huge grab there for Allstars. Still only a 3-frag lead, but he's going to be very scary now, or even scarier than usual, I guess. Running around with that Amp sniper rifle. So back up to a 4-frag lead. They were up by as much as 7. Eats a ton of goo, though. Almost another, but stands in there and gets that sniper shot. Great focus by Rookie on this Amp run. Take a look at his stats right now. Shooting dead 50% sniper. Rookie looks like he's finally settling in. Really getting some consistent accuracy there. I mean, he was looking good in map 1. The 4v4 looked like, especially in map 1 of the 4v4, him and Reflex looked a little uncomfortable on those Amp runs that we pointed out on Temple. But Rookie right now being extremely aggressive and back up to an 8-frag lead. I think this is as big of a lead as they've had all game. Take a quick look at the scoreboard here. There's the Rampage, down to 2 HP. We do have the 100 armor spawning right now. Demon snagged that belt, so we'll see if Demon tries to push them off of that 100. It looks like DD went ahead and took it. So Rookie going to sit back. I wonder if Rookie's going to try to take the Amp. He's going to maybe just try to clear out area. No, DD gets the Amp, so there's an opportunity. Oh, for DW, they both go down for All-Stars, so only an 8-frag lead as we're about halfway through this one. This could be the moment that DW was looking for to assert themselves, try to take back the lead. Remember, the opening minutes, they actually started off. Wow, alt fire from the Stinger there, doing all sorts of damage. So deadly with that Amp. Repeat with the kill. Down to an 8-frag lead again. Make it 7. More importantly, All-Stars all respawning. They're not going to have a whole lot of inventory to work with, and that shield belt should be relatively free to DW. You see the artillery shells just being launched by DD. 100 armor goes their way as well. Some damage coming out, but you can see the All-Stars players down extremely low on health with 1 HP. Repeat comes away alive somehow, and there's another kill. And slowly but surely, in the mid-air, Juice just raining giblets down all over the place. I hope DD brought an umbrella. And another one. DD's flak right now is on fire. Does more damage up close, but finally goes down. But Amp is up in 5 seconds. We've got us a 4-point game coming into the final 5 minutes soon. 1 Amp run could be the difference in this game. I've already seen Rookie have a couple of huge Amp runs. In fact, I would say those Amp runs could very fairly be called the difference in the game at this point. But of course, Deity down below can take him out if he can hit a shot. Down to 11 HP. Rookie's, playing with fire right here. It goes down to Repeat, but Repeat's only got 100 health himself. A little bit of armor. Demon's going to dive at him. Dangerous move, though, because Demon would go down with 1 shot from that Amp sniper rifle. Chases him back to that 100 armor. Demon being extremely aggressive here. And there's the rocket that knocks him back down to 18 HP. They might actually be able to take him out here. You have the Enforcer out, and he does it. Demon almost suicidal with the aggression there, but manages to take down the armor, chase away the Amper, and basically negate that power-up. So All-Stars hanging on to a 7-frag lead. DW getting much better control of the armors in the second half of this game. It's allowing them to fight much more effectively in some of these team engagements. 10 seconds till that amp spawns. We've seen big amp runs from both sides so far. We'll see who gets in position. The chase down right there by Repeat cuts it to 6. Amp up now. Nobody in position quite yet. This is when the game gets a little bit messy. Timings get a little bit out of sync. Oh, Repeat down there. Armor from both players. Oh, and Demon kills himself, so it's 2v1. Rookie has the amp and some armor, but he's fighting against 2 players with armor. And actually, it looks like he may have a one-on-one. Repeat gets stuck out there, so interesting. DW may be going for the spawn kill off Demon. Leaving him alone, Rookie makes him pay with 2 quick kills. Oh, and Rookie had just heard the footsteps. Nice patience, baiting him to dive for that. And this is basically when it turns into like a duel map. Both players are essentially playing one-on-one. And I think that's going to benefit Allstars. So a little bit of armor for Allstars. Oh, Deity actually kamikazes on Demon. Taking away that armor. 100 armor spawns in 5. You'll have amp and belt at the same time next cycle. That will be interesting to see. I think DW has to go for the amp. I mean, they'd love to grab both, but at this point, you need to make up double digits. I think amp runs are going to be the way to do it. They'll have a couple more opportunities this game. But they've got 15 seconds till that first one spawns. Rookie just waiting on it right now, but only 42 HP. Oh, and he gets the kill. Nice concentration standing in there versus the Enforcer. Repeat's going to chase him down again. Rookie may have to abandon ship. No, he's going to go at him against the Enforcer with the flak. He goes down. Repeat with perfect time with that amp. Feeds Demon a little bit of a flak ball. So Demon's armor goes away. This is a big fight right here. If he can get this amp down, and he does. Rookie chases after him with the link. Grabs the amp for himself. Another kill right off of it. And the extra damage. Also, no, another kill. So big kill there by Rookie. Not just ending the amp run, but getting one of his own. And that may be the nail in the coffin. So we're looking at 18 frags now with just about 2 minutes to go. We'll take a quick look at that scoreboard to catch up. About 1,100 more damage for Allstars. Amp's a little bit more even, but I mean, Allstars still dominant there. Twice as many belts. Significantly more 100 armors, although DW has done a good job, especially in the second half. They really fought back into grabbing some control of those armors. I mean, certainly we saw them actually take the lead a few minutes ago for a while. I mean, they weren't down a huge amount, but they were down significantly and fought their way back into it. And then credit to Allstars for answering, coming right back. And it looks like they're going to put this one away and take the second point in this matchup. Amp is up. We'll see if anyone's even waiting for it. Demon will grab it, but only 20 HP. Edie's got him in a pretty tough position. Repeat going to chase after him. He actually takes out Demon, and Repeat takes him down. And now dual amped Enforcers, but Rookie's not scared. Rookie playing Instagib now. Shooting that double damage sniper rifle against people that he knows has no armor. Take a look at what he's been shooting. So down to a paltry 42% sniper for Rookie. Amp does end, and I believe that'll be our last amp of the game. It will. We do have a shield belt up right now. But at this point, it's all pretty much just padding stats. DD will have it. But Allstar is going to take this map and earn themselves another point. Again, they do have a double header today, so they're going to have 2 more games, or best of 3 duels, that is, in this matchup, and then a whole other matchup coming up right after this one. So lots of points on the board for All-Star City to climb those rankings. So there we go, taking a quick peek at the rankings while we're waiting for that duel to pop up. Again, keep an eye on the number of matches here. Not an apples-to-apples comparison. If someone's played 4 matches and someone has played 1, you know, just keep that in mind. But All-Stars already grabbing 2 points on the board. DRUCKWELLE adding the 1 point from the first 4v4. Still 2 more points on the board between those two, and All-Stars with a whole other 5 points available on their second matchup. So, of course, a big day for All-Stars here. Then again, Mesa versus LATAM following that one as well. So lots of shakeup going to happen today when you got 5 matches in a match day. All sorts of movement up and down the rankings. Yeah, like I said before, when you watch someone like Rookie play, he will at times pull out the sniper rifle, or maybe just keep the sniper rifle out in situations where if you were coaching someone, if you were training them, you would say that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. And that's something that really manifests itself in every game type. When you have someone who can shoot that 45, 55% sniper, it's almost like a 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Like once you can hit above a certain percent, the situations where that's the right kind of risk versus reward play completely change. Yeah, if you got someone who's shooting 30% sniper, maybe up close you switch to rockets and flak. Get that easy damage, maybe even link gun, get that, you know, sure damage output. But if you're shooting like Rookie was shooting last game, upwards of 50% on both of those maps, gonna be a completely different story. So repeat and reflex. I feel like that's a bit redundant. Can we just call them Pete and Flex? Look, you guys wanted dad jokes, all right? This is what you get. Happy dad joke day, everybody. All right, so we are playing in the European hub. This would mean that this is Reflex's map pick, I do believe. And yeah, I would say, I mean, at this point, the dual maps on the list here, none of them are secrets. Everyone's played a race. Everybody knows a race. This is a map that we've seen, especially in, I think, recent times, or at least we've seen on stream in recent times, a little bit of divergency in how people play it. I expect we'll see Reflex play it kind of that, you know, kind of the Quake style, right? Lots of spike damage, right? You're going to see him poking with shock and sniper. You're going to see some single rockets coming out trying to predict people and get that big 100 damage spike damage. Combos coming out when people fight over like the 100 armor and try to predict people's movement. But I think he's mostly going to be playing that medium to long range game. I believe that's where Reflex will probably find his advantage. If you're Repeat, you probably want to do the opposite. Maybe you want to be sneaky, force fights, you know, up close, maybe try to get some ambushes around the shield belt and such. We'll see how they play it out, and we'll see how it plays out right now. All right, players are ready. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Con-X5 bringing you the dual portion of this matchup. Repeat versus Reflex. Going to kick it off, and already Reflex with the first blood combo, catching him at the sniper rifle. Knows where he spawned. Nice defensive flak ball, though, by Repeat to push him away. Already see the familiarity with the map. Both players, oh, big flat primer is coming up by Repeat. Gonna earn him 100 armor and tie the game up. I don't think Repeat wants to stand toe-to-toe with Reflex and try to win those aim duels, you know, shock juggle contests and the pokey sniper rifle stuff. If he can predict, if he can get some of those prediction combos, some of those flak balls like we've seen, let alone if he can close the gap, right? If he can get into these close quarters fights over... Oh, interesting. Reflex there. Completely conceding the shield belt. Not sure why he made that decision. Maybe he just wasn't sure where Repeat was and didn't want to get caught in a bad situation. And that right there, the toe-to-toe aim versus aim shock juggling contest, very few people in the world are going to stand up to Reflex in that. I don't think that's what Repeat wants. He out positioned him there and got himself a free shield belt, only giving up 100 armor. If he could force something dirty, a messy close range rocket battle flak, something like that, that's where I think he can find an advantage. Reflex there with that sniper rifle. That shot right there was just absurd. I mean, knowing exactly where his opponent is, that was as much prediction as, well, frankly, Reflexes. Like, you can see he's predicting these shots. You can predict with hit scan. You can just, you know, basically put your crosshair where someone's going to be upwards of 2-3 seconds in advance like he's doing right now. And just wait for them to jump into it. Basically, you make your aim quiet and just make it as easy of a shot as possible. We've seen that from Reflex already in this map. But again, this map is no secret. Everyone's going to know Erase by this point. Repeat's certainly very well versed with it. And has plenty of time to stage a comeback as well. Only down 2. But first step is going to be to get some armor. Deletes some of Reflexes and grabs a 50. So that was a pretty good exchange there by Repeat. Hits a couple shots. Reflex down to 60 armor. Same health. Oh, Reflex answers back with a beautiful combo. Unfortunately, he pops him up and away and allows him to escape. That will earn 100 armor for Reflex, who's getting to these power-ups just about 2 to 3 seconds before they spawn. And that's probably perfect for a duel. You don't want to get there much sooner. You definitely don't want to get there after they spawn, obviously. So you see him throwing that shock ball. I think that might have been just a deterrent. So basically wanted to fake like he was going down by the lift. He's hearing, oh, that rocket showed Reflex exactly where he is. Repeat may concede that belt, but does negate it with that shot. So that could be a pretty big win there for Repeat. Negates the belt, grabs the 100 armor, and gives him an armor lead, but takes that sniper shot. And that sniper shot was huge. That could be a kill here for Reflex if he can get one more big shot in. He's trying to bait Repeat out. He knows Repeat needs health. Thought he might go for that health. He's going to try to catch him. Going for vials. Doesn't go there. And now it's just a guessing game. Reflex trying to say, okay, where is he going to go for health? He has to get health packs right now. When and how? Oh, he's got him where he wants him, but now close range sniper versus the rockets. This is that weapon selection. Next shot should get a kill for either player, and they're just going to back up now. So Repeat perhaps forcing what he wanted there, and then realizing that once Reflex backed out, made it a long-range sniper duel. Kind of what we said, like not getting what he wanted, escaped. Oh, the rocket just barely missed him. Now the 3-pack comes down, does negate that armor a little bit. So Repeat, I want to go on board with Repeat and see what he's seeing, because I think he's kind of getting a feel for the game he wants to play with Reflex, which is to say, I mean, kind of what we talked about, right? Like, he wants to anticipate his movement, hit him with some combos around corners, hit him with rockets, maybe get him up close, and a rocket or flak tool, nice combo right there, gonna take him down. But even having him trapped in the health corner like that, doesn't want to fight those long-range sniper versus sniper, shock versus shock tools. He wants to catch him around the corner, like right there, and bait him into chasing him. Get rockets like that up close. This is where he could get a big kill here. We're about halfway through this one, still down 2, but he's got Reflex down to 10 HP, 1 shot. Oh, he got the shot he wanted. Just couldn't get the turnaround sniper, but there it is just before the 100 armor spawns. Repeat needs their follow-up right now. There's a big rocket. One snipe could get the kill he needed to tie it up. Reflex standing in there trying to answer back, and Repeat does win that fight. That armor keeps him alive, down to 10 HP. There's a sniper coming across the way from Reflex, and Reflex critically had perfect timing on that belt. Grab sniper, grab belt, got the kill, back up by 1, and now he's on the hunt again, trying to rebuild that lead. Oh, the sliding sniper. Again, that's a very difficult shot that he's hitting. And around the corner, Reflex on fire right now with this sniper rifle. Not just a matter of accuracy, but the level of difficulty on these two. To coordinate your movements, know exactly where you want to put it. As I say that he misses the shock ball placement there, but yeah, making some of these shots look very easy that are not a given. So back up to a 3-frag lead, give you a quick look at the scoreboard, give you an idea of where things are shaking out. Reflex dominating the belt so far, but Repeat has done a pretty solid job of dictating the flow of combat at times. Just 1 or 2 shots short on some of these key fights. I like the combo there. I don't like standing in there. Yeah, he maybe needed to bail out after that first shot he took. Reflex gonna have to be careful, but the mid-air rocket takes him down, pins him to the wall, gives him time to grab that belt. If he doesn't hit that rocket, Repeat might grab that shield belt, and who knows, maybe he gets the kill there. But instead, another opportunity, and this is what Reflex is so good at on this map. Not just getting 1 kill, but getting 2 or 3 off of it. The top tier duelers will do that on every map. Definitely, especially, you know, some of the smaller maps like this. Tracking people down off the spawn, not letting them get a weapon. And I think that's been the difference so far, really. I mean, is Repeat has been able to get a couple of kills here and there. He's been 1 or 2 shots just off a couple of times. But then when Reflex does get a kill and does get control, he's turning out 3-4 kills in a row. Oh, nice sniper there, falling away to send Reflex packing. That will get Repeat the 100 armor. I don't know if he's going to circle around to belt in time, though. And again, perfect timing of the belt by Reflex. They're exactly as early as he wants to be. And completely uncontested by Repeat, which is maybe a bit of a misstep. We're going to take a quick look at the stats. I know you guys are curious. You know, just 60% sniper, no big deal. And so Reflex now firmly in control, up to a 9-frag lead. And there again, coming away with, what was that, 30 HP? Repeat doing his share of damage. I think he's just struggling now when Reflex is in the control of the map. Reflex now is forcing the flow of combat and just getting in his face. I mean, the aggression here. Not afraid to go toe-to-toe against Enforcer when he has the rockets out. Oh, nice flak ball there. Takes him out. Those are the kind of shots Repeat has needed all game. And finally, just the second belt of the game, and I don't think he had even challenged the last few shield belts. Reflex had been completely in control of the map. So time, I think, going to run out on Repeat, but like we talked about in the 2v2, this is a best of 3. Hey, and Repeat finally out hit scans Reflex in a mid-range duel. I think that's the first time that it happened this game. Maybe going to build himself some confidence coming into map 2. And if you're Repeat, you're hoping for map 3. Reflex. What is his accuracy with the Enforcer? 60% accuracy with the Enforcer. Down to 54 with the sniper rifle. Might as well uninstall. But it must be said too, I mean, Reflex here, you know, it would be unfair to categorize him as someone who just runs around with 1 weapon and shoots high accuracy. Obviously he's doing that, but you can see he's also placing himself in position. Perfect timing on the shield belt. I think he's been there for every single belt except the one where he abandoned it early on, where he gave Repeat the free belt because he wanted to grab the 100. Might have been more of a positioning strategic deal. But just on top, he's aware of everything in the map. So, you know, again a very impressive map by Reflex here, but certainly don't want to focus entirely on just sniper rifle accuracy. He's done a lot more to set himself up for it. Oh, flak balls. Kissing him a couple of times. Repeat feeding him the flak smiley faces, but in the end, Reflex going to come out on top. All right, so we will have another hub switch, of course, European versus North American matchup. So we'll be bouncing back and forth. I'm going to take this opportunity to refresh my my drink. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we'll be kicking it off map 2. Okay, we are back on NYC, it looks like. Thought they might have been going to GCP East, but we are in there.
Baby.
So perhaps no surprise given the 2v2 map pick. DW obviously likes solo. Here we go, map 2, 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here with map 2. Between Reflex and Repeat, we just saw the Reflex looking awfully good on Erase. We do have Repeat's map pick here on solo. We'll see what he can bring us. Reflex trying to secure another point for Allstars, who have dropped their first map of the season in the very first game against DW earlier. Or I should say dropped their first point of the season. So trying to finish strong to keep that point total high. DW, of course, trying to fight their way up the rankings as well. Repeat can force a map 3 with the victory here. Right now, both players kind of backing off to their sides. Damage coming out from both sides. Like we said, DW did pick this map in their 2v2. Oh, the falling combo almost destroys them. We've seen so many people catch someone falling with a combo from above. Not only does it damage them, it'll blast them right into the ground and do crater damage on top of it, but doesn't hit it. So these two kind of playing a little bit of a game of tag here. A little bit of damage back and forth. 34 damage rocket, nothing crazy, 20 damage. Oh, and the headshot. There's the spike damage he needed to finish him off and take first blood. Earns himself 100 armor and plenty of time before the belt to try to track him down. This being a newer map. Ooh, a map not necessarily everybody has played a billion times, but has been around a while in UT4. So players should be pretty familiar if they're experienced in this game. They will know how to chase off the spawn. I would say it's a much more nimble map. You can certainly escape on this map, especially if you know some of the movement really well. But it's still fairly small. I mean, you can, in other words, if you can predict the enemy spawns, you can definitely churn out some spawn kills. Definitely look for that to happen. We're seeing Reflex right now flying around the map, so he's certainly familiar with all of the little tips and tricks. Oh, caught him in the corner with the rockets. This is a bad place for Repeat to be. He does hit some nice shots to do some damage, but Reflex still over 100 damage, up to a 3-0 lead. And just rolling with control of the map. Nice slide and perfect timings. How many times did we see that in the first map where just Repeat is challenging him, but the absolutely flawless timing of Reflex, he just gets in there, knows exactly when to grab that pickup and exactly where to position himself. So even if Repeat had hit a couple great shots there, I mean, Reflex just had better positioning. And we've seen that happen so far throughout this duel. And it's one of those things it's a little bit trickier to point out if you're just watching them kind of shoot at each other, but positioning sets up shots. So Repeat right now, a bit on the run, trying to just bait Reflex into chasing him around a corner. Oh, and the rocket just scratches the nose of Repeat, but doesn't do any damage. Feeling a bit like the Sphinx there, I think. Oh, big flat primer. He has a chance for another one. Repeat there kind of got what he wanted. I was talking about on the race. If he can close that range, make it a close range, you know, rocket or flak duel. Reflex right now, though, really showing off. He doesn't have to be long range to hit these sniper shots, because right now, I mean, he's hitting fadeaway shots around corners while sliding. Reflex just on fire right now at any range. You can see the strategy here by Repeat, just trying to throw some flak balls around, trying to keep Reflex at bay and do some sort of damage. Reflex still at 131 HP, just hasn't been vulnerable since the opening moments of this game, just been on top of it. So we're about halfway through this one. Still all Reflex. I mean, what can you say? He's just been playing pretty close to perfect at this point, if I'm being honest. Repeat hasn't been playing poorly at all by any means. I mean, Reflex has just been perfect with his timing. His positioning has been flawless. He's been exactly where he needs to be at all the time. He hasn't missed any of those easy shots. I mean, he's obviously missed some shots. But you see some of those prediction shots with, you know, catching him midair like that, catching him going to health packs. Any of those shots you expect to hit, Reflex has been hitting. And finally, Repeat able to string some shots together and take him down and get on the board. Oh, and the rocket answers right back. We've seen that from top players too. Smart play. They're not trying to hit him necessarily in midair with that rocket, but tracking where he's going to land, hitting him over that ledge. Guaranteed damage. Repeat now trying to get in his face with the sniper rifle. Not going to work out. Close range rockets, and Reflex puts another point on the board, back up by 10. Never mind, he decided to go for the highlight reel kill. The double mid-air rockets. Reflex can do that as well. Just putting on a clinic at this point. Everything Reflex does right now is just working. And there you go. That's what Repeat had been looking for. That chase, that bait kind of, you know, oh, and a nice follow-up flak. So Repeat, obviously comfortable with this map. It was his map choice. Now he's going for these high risk versus reward. Oh, there's a big flat primary kill again. Pulls within 8. 3 minutes on the board. Hey, man, this is going to have to be a blazing comeback by Repeat in order to make this happen. Giving up that shield belt, though, going to make it much harder. He basically has to kill Reflex twice now. Nice shots coming out. 3 shots in a row, but just doesn't have the health to survive it. Reflex takes him out with the Enforcer. Smart move to respawn by that 100 armor, but more importantly, grabs himself a shock rifle. And I think the biggest problem here is oftentimes when people are trying to come back and they're trying to get a few kills quickly, they're relying on that hit scan, right? They're going to try to get the sniper, they're going to try to like force a shock duel. That's a quick way to do a ton of damage, but right now you just can't do that against Reflex. Oh, and big combos like that. That's what the takeaway I think for Repeat can be this game. When he's done well, it's been whenever he's baited Reflex and it chasing him, hit him with those combos, hit him with even like flak balls and such. Getting into these sniper duels, that's just not going to do him any good. Reflex is shooting what, 45% sniper, and that's probably the lowest percentage we've seen him shoot all day. Back up to 47. I mean, is that going to be an even 50? I don't know, almost 48.5, whatever. I mean, the guy's shooting 43% Enforcer. So there you go, 1 minute warning. Reflex gonna secure another point. Looking pretty impressive, honestly. He's made his mistakes here and there. Repeat has made him pay. I mean, like I said, it may be hard to say in an 11-point game. Repeat's actually not played all that poorly. Reflex has just been that stingy. Hey, and another headshot by Repeat takes him down. Only a 10 frag game, and if he can cut this to 9, I would say that's a pretty fair. There you go, only down by 9. I mean, I'm not one for moral victories, but this is a very respectable showing by Repeat against Reflex being just absolutely on fire. GG's coming out, and there you go. Reflex winning map 2, taking that point. We are down to the last duel of the matchup. Wait for that one to pop up. Give you a quick look again at our rankings. So that's going to be 3 points on the board for All-Stars in the rankings. Not reflected yet on these particular rankings yet. We'll get them updated as the day goes on. 1 point for DW. And 1 best of 3 duel left to go between these two teams. Of course, stick around. Again, we have a long match day coming for us. DW versus All-Stars right now. All-Stars with a doubleheader. They'll be playing Sons of Death after that. And then the late match, Mesa Gaming versus LATAM, North America versus South America. I know some of y'all, it's going to be getting late across the pond, but definitely stick around for us if you can. If not, you can definitely watch the VODs here on this channel afterwards. They're uploading them to YouTube as well with all the fancy, timestamps and all that. So one way or another, you can definitely catch up on that action. Oh, and of course, the website, UTProLeague.com. Definitely, if you're not familiar, go check that out. Of course, schedules, of course, rankings, also, sorry, write-ups, predictions, all that good stuff. Lots of content. So if you want to stuff your face with video games, definitely bookmark it and check it out. Meanwhile, I'm stuffing my face. Today's match is brought to you by Coleslaw and Potato Salad. I don't believe RYE or myself personally have a sponsor currently for Coleslaw or Potato Salad. If anybody would like to hook us up with a corporate Coleslaw and Potato Salad sponsor, let me know. I will ingest your things on stream and say good things about them. Don't worry, I'll put a banner up saying it was a sponsored video or whatever. I'm all about transparency, but just saying, if someone gives me a truckload of coleslaw and potato salad, I'm going to eat it and I'm going to talk about it. Is it fantasy? No, what is that, a warm-up game? I thought we said... Okay, it's possible, yeah, because fantasy didn't play in the 2v2. It's possible it could be the dueler. Let's jump in and see if this is, in fact, the game.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right, here we go. Players are in the server and ready to go. We got Fantasy versus Alpha. Last duel of this matchup will be a best of 3, and we're going to get it kicked off on a race right now. And here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5 bringing you the last matchup. For the last match of the matchup, Fantasy versus Alpha. We've seen DW open things up with 1 point in the 4v4. Allstars taking the following 3. Oh, and Fantasy going to rocket himself in the face just to give Alpha a little bit of a head start. Oh, interesting. You can see the minimap in the bottom right. So Alpha just waiting on that 100 armor. Got there a little bit early. Fantasy should still have timing since he took it right on time. No real information disparity yet. Much more cautious approach from both of these players to start this game off. Fantasy moving around the map very quickly, able to scoop up some of those vials. Couple of quick rockets, one shot away. Nice work there, finishing him off right before the health bubble spawned and getting back to that shield belt. And that's something you'll see at this high level duels is when people either get killed or get kills. They have a plan. Alpha pinging them down with the shock primaries. Nice job with the shock juggles. Down to 48 HP, but able to get back to that health as quickly as possible. And you can see again, both players ready for that re-engagement immediately. Down to 10 HP. Fantasy's got him pushed away. Fantasy might just chase him down as he's up to 115. 100 armor will be spawning soon. Alpha down to 2 HP. Does grab some vials, but only 22 health. There he goes. Critical that he grabbed that other health bubble. That allowed him to survive. But Fantasy is all up in his face. And one shot of anything can pretty much sneeze on him and it'll kill him. Nowhere to go for Alpha, but he's putting out some damage, and that's just as important. If he does go down here, he wants to make it as tough of a victory Fantasy as possible, and Fantasy getting pushed away a bit by that flag. Oh, nice combo there, throwing it right at the corner, taking him out, grabbing that belt, and now we're going to see a fight over the 100. Ooh, that rocket just whizzing by his face. And Alpha doubling back, so interesting move there. Rather than running backwards towards that health in the shock rifle, knew that he was going to be in a long-range fight against it. Instead, doubles back, sneaks around to grab that armor, and Alpha doing a pretty solid job of holding him off of what could have been a spawn kill situation. Oh, the close range rocket pushes him away. That's going to be basically a free 100 armor, and Alpha down to 23 HP. Going to be on the run in a 1-point game. Nice combo from below. Does some damage, but Fantasy didn't know where he went. Fortunately for Alpha, he fell down right in front of him. Easy shot to get the finishing blow. And now the follow-up off the spawn. Alpha going to do some damage here with the Stinger. But Fantasy has plenty of health and armor. Not going to be chased away. There's another kill off that spawn. And map control squarely in Fantasy's hands now. See how many kills he can churn out while he's got control and what Alpha can do to try to reestablish. So Fantasy continuing this run. And I'm very curious to find out. So at this point, this is one of those maps you can kind of just run the map. If you've got a big lead like this, we've seen players that will just basically, be happy to run the map, scoop up resources, and run the clock out. Doesn't look like he's going to play it that safe yet. Perfect timing on the power-ups, and Alpha just getting blasted from below there. You can see Fantasy with the really textbook route running, picking up weapons right as they're spawning on top of every pickup and armor. Does miss that jump. You can see he's waiting to see if the shock rifle already got picked up, and it did. All really Alpha's had his hands on is the 50. We'll take a quick look at the pickups. Fantasy all over them. Only 3 vests for Alpha, and that's it. Oh, there's a little bit of goo damage coming out. We know that can be a home run that can really erase any health and armor that someone's built up, but Fantasy just moving around the map. You can see how comfortable he is with it. So halfway through and on a rampage, Fantasy with 10 straight kills. Looking to try to put this one away. Still not over yet. We've seen some very quick runs in this game. But the fact that he not only has control of all the armors, but even scooping up those vials up to 150 over 150. Ooh, and the bait. Alpha, actually probably a good move there not to go for the 100 armor. Fantasy had him lined up perfectly with that combo. None of those flak balls hitting. And you can see Alpha's strategy at this point is not to try to challenge him head-to-head. He knows he can't fight him with 149 over 150, but just trying to get some amount of damage to initiate with a flak ball, rocket, something to break down that stack that Fantasy's built up. So Alfred does scoop up 100 armor. Fantasy a little bit out of position for that one. Kind of surprised, but nonetheless, up to 199 over 150. Wants to make this as leisurely of a last 3.5 minutes as possible. Still at 199 HP. Oh, he is close range versus Alpha with flak. This could be a problem. Down to 58 HP. Alpha just decimated him. And that's what he wanted, was to close that gap. Pull out something like the flak. We saw him with some of the goo shots earlier. Just try to erase that entire stack. Did just that, pinned him to the side. And got the second kill of the match, but the first one in something like 7 minutes, 6 minutes. Like the opening first minute or two, he got a kill. And then after that, it's been all Fantasy. Unfortunately for Alfred, when you're trying to come back in a situation like this, makes you a bit one-dimensional and a bit predictable, I should say, because you pretty much just have to be blindly aggressive. Fantasy knew he had the advantage there, pushes it, gets the kill, and that's probably going to do it as far as the comeback attempts. But again, this is best of 3. You might see Alfred try to get some other momentum going. I mean, he had a moment there, like he caught Fantasy out of position. Blasted him with a flat cannon to reset control. But Fantasy fought his way right back into it. And again, I'd like to point that out. Top tier players, whether they're killed or whether they get the kill, either way, they know exactly what they want next. And Fantasy, look at that. The combo and the follow-up primaries. It looks so leisurely, so effortless whenever someone hits a shot like that. That requires really solid map control, or map knowledge and mouse control. Oh, and a nice rocket right under the belt, or right under the bridge there near belt. Stinger breaking down Fantasy stack. Not a bad tactic, although with 90 seconds left, going to be kind of academic at this point. So we saw that another killing spree by Fantasy, finishing this one off strong. Still in control. And from Fantasy's perspective, I mean, he's getting ready for map 2 as well, right? So even if you've been in control, you want to make sure that you stay sharp. You don't want to end the game kind of asleep, right? That can sometimes happen when you're in the lead or when you build a big lead early on. He wants to stay sharp. He wants to be able to jump back onto him because map 2, they start back at 0-0. Oh, that rocket. Bounced right into him coming up that lift. We are going to play the last 10 seconds of this one. And stick with us. I think we're going to change servers again for map 2. But map 1 going to Fantasy. And All-Stars now. One map away. As you can see, the domination really just speaks to the map control. I mean, Fantasy just ran the map all game. 9-0 for belts. 12-4 for 100 armors. Once he built that lead, that 3-5 frag lead, he kind of just played the map at that point. He just locked down the map and said, hey, you've got to chase me down. You've got to take the chances. And made Alpha pay when he did, other than that one flak duel. I guess it wasn't so much a flak duel. It was flak versus shock, I think, close range. So we'll wait for that hub to come up for map 2. And we'll see if All-Stars can secure 4 straight points in this matchup. Or VW can come back and take, well, at the very least, force a map 3 and give them an opportunity to take a second point in this one. Again, All-Stars with a doubleheader today, so another matchup coming up directly after this one with them. So All-Stars versus Sons of Death after this, then Mesa Gaming versus Latam directly after that. So we've still got another good, probably 4 to 5 hours of video games to play, y'all. So hope you're buckled up. Okay, GCP East might be where we're going. Although we did have New York match earlier, so that actually, yeah, it looks like we're in NYC, so we'll be jumping in and hopefully kicking this one off soon.
Hail to the king, baby.
It looks like we're going to see solo again. Okay, Alpha's ping looking not great to NYC. We did have some issues with that in the prior matchup. Looked like he was pinging, yeah, up to the 180s to the server. So they're going to move over to the other East Coast server, rehost real quick. Luckily, they've got server presets on all of these hubs, so it really doesn't take long to get these matches up and running. We don't talk about that much. Shout out to the server admins. people both paying for the servers, people setting them up, getting all of the, you know, the mutators and all that set up so that you can jump in, you got the presets, you know, UTPL 4v4, whatever the case may be, and everything loaded makes things so much quicker. I just remember back in the day with UT Comp and 2K4, it got pretty easy where you could do stuff like that, you know, change the game type and such, but this whole hub system kind of changes how you conceptualize all of that, being able to just spin things up on the fly. Really cool to have those different settings ready to go by the admin. So shout out to all of the work that goes on behind the scenes there to make things like this seamless and easy.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right, I think Fantasy is having to rejoin this hub, but then we should have everyone in and ready to go. Alpha's ping looks much more reasonable in this hub as well, so routing continues to be better. Oh, we got rid of Kilobot. I gotta say, if we ever get to the point where it's like a Fallout scenario and we have like, you know, domestic robots that help make us food and sweep and stuff, don't get me wrong, I would definitely buy a Mr. Handy, but it wouldn't be for cleaning. I would definitely be buying a Kilobot, however. All right, here we go. We're on solo yet again. Players are ready. Here's your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5. Back again with Fantasy versus Alpha. This time, we are on solo. DW definitely favoring this map, both in duels and 2v2s. Alpha trying to draw even again and force a map 3 tiebreaker. The last point in this matchup. Fantasy trying to clear things out and get another point on the board, a 4th one for Allstars. Fantasy did win map 1. Has that advantage, bullies them off of the 100 armor. You saw Alfred trying to get the link gun ambush, I suppose. Rocket's pushing him away. Fantasy grabs the armor, though he does take some damage, so we'll see if he can get back up. Looks like 89 HP for him now. And smart play to soak up those vials. We do see, ooh, high-level duelers incorporating all the vials in this map into their routes, and he misses the shock primary. Put himself in a tough spot. Had to hit that primary, missed it. Alfred knocks him down with a combo. And now we've got 18 health versus 10 health. As Fantasy takes more damage. He does manage to grab that belt, though, and that allows him to double back, face him down, and get the kill to even it back out. So not just the plays there, but the order of that play there by Fantasy was huge. Backing up, getting the belt, the inherent extra kind of absorption that gives you means that he could turn that corner and be aggressive with 10 HP. Oh, that combo just whizzes by Alpha, so defensive flak by Fantasy, but he's going to be on the run just a bit. We'll go to Alpha's perspective. Oh, a big rocket, 2 in a row. Alpha smacks him down with 200 damage. So Fantasy going to be on the run. It's going to be up to Alpha now to try to convert that into more than 1 kill. One more shot could do it if he can nail him with a combo. Nope, it's just going to chase him away. Belt up now, and unfortunately for Alpha, not in position to push him off of the belt. So that's a bit of a misstep. Had him on the run, still has the weapon advantage. Had the position, had everything he really needed, but just couldn't get to that belt ahead of time. Now out of shock ammo, going to be on the run just a bit. So Alfred again on the run with 24 HP. Fantasy trying to track him down. We'll go on board with him. 100 armor's up in 5 seconds. I'm not sure if Fantasy is trying to make his way over to that. He gave up all of that health to Alfred. He did negate some of it there. Oh, and the fall away sniper shot. Big shot there to take him back down to 24 HP. That may prevent Alfred from challenging this belt. I'm not sure if Fantasy realized just how low he's had him these last couple fights. He's had him under 30 HP and let him get away, but did secure that shield belt off of that. Oh, the sliding. That was a wall run, I guess. The wall run sniper would have been beautiful. Didn't quite land it. Only 6 damage. A little bit of splash off that flak ball. Oh, and they try to flak each other. A little bit of damage back and forth. They're going to dive right into each other. Big 100 damage flak shot by Fantasy. Alfred's on the run with 21 HP. Fantasy going to try to cut him off somewhere. 25 armor up, but more importantly, I think, is grabbing that shock rifle. Ooh, I think Fantasy was going for those vials and fell down. That's kind of a loss of a few seconds there. Not going to necessarily cost him those. He still is in perfect position for that belt. Alfred looking to snipe him. Couldn't hit it. Oh, that combo was scary. Alfred got spooked and ran away. Oh, close range flak versus rockets. This could be dangerous for Alfred. Only 14 HP. Anything will take him down. Fantasy doing the smart thing there. Finally pulling out the link gun. Ties it right back up. This has been a game of cat and mouse the last few minutes. We're almost halfway through it. You feel like Fantasy's been in control for like 3 or 4 minutes and just couldn't get any kills on the board. Alfred, for his part, has actually made him constantly continue to be on the run. I mean, he's been hitting him with poke damage. He's been paying for, making him pay for chasing him down. And just being elusive in general. Pretty decent combo there. Belt is up. Oh, and Fantasy in position. Alfred completely out of position for that shield belt. Unfortunate. If he had been basically 3 steps to the left, he might have been able to force Fantasy off of it or even make him pay with some damage for grabbing it. Instead, free grab for Fantasy. That's not going to be good news for Alfred. So Rocket's coming out. Ooh, tries to hit him with the mid-air rocket. Alfred, you can see at this point, I wouldn't call it desperation, but not getting what he wants as far as these fights go. He's kind of just throwing stuff at Fantasy and hoping something lands. There's a little bit of extra damage. You see him defending himself with that piston, just trying to run away. 100 armor's not up for 10 more seconds. Now this could be dangerous for Fantasy if he gets baited into a close range fight, but Fantasy, smart move there. What he did, he actually just backed up. He had the medium long range weapon, right? The shock rifle out. So he knew that all he had to do was just dodge backwards, increase that distance, and all of a sudden that flat cannon was going to be relatively useless. Alfred trying to chase him down. I don't think he realizes how much armor Fantasy picked up there. Another shock, another one, and Alfred now 1 shot away from going down. Again, I don't know if Alfred wants to be this aggressive. Remember, it's only a 1 frag game. Fantasy's been in control for a while. And there it is, but takes him down to 8 HP. You can see the chat binds coming out. Alfred knew he had him weak there. I don't know if he knows he had him 8 HP weak. There's the link gun chasing him down, and Fantasy melts him right on top of that 100 armor. It isn't going to spawn for another 15 seconds. It looked to me like Alfred lost timing of that vest, and that could be huge for the last 3 minutes of this game. I think he thought it was about to spawn. It definitely was not. It's spawning actually the same time as belt. Alfred can actually get a free grab of that 100 armor if he wants. Instead, he's going to stand in here. I think he headshot Fantasy there, down to 13 HP. Both players extremely weak. Fantasy gets the kill on a spree, and if he can scoop up this 100... Oh, he's actually going to grab help. Probably a smart move, but if he can grab this 100 here, that would be huge, and he does. So now a massive armor stack for Fantasy. Nothing on the map, really, for Alfred to pick up for another 20 seconds. We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard to see what got us here. Look at that damage differential. This is what I mean. Alpha has been just like keeping him on the run, constantly, you know, staying alive, but 7-0 belts. Did Alpha pick up a shield belt in map 1? I don't actually remember. But Fantasy's control here has been impeccable. And just putting himself in position to do things like that. Teabagging the skeleton. You gotta watch out for splinters when you do that. So here we go, link to link battle at this point though. Just about 90 seconds to go. Fantasy winning that, and why not? He's been putting himself in position before fights to have the advantage, but really still just in control both maps. Take a quick look at his stats. Nothing really going to jump off the page here, I don't think. Especially because of Alpha. I mean, again, you look at that. Almost 50% more damage for Alpha, but just only 2 kills on the board. So a textbook match from Fantasy here, controlling the map. Only taking fights when he wants to. Only fighting when he has an advantage. Oh, and the sniper rifle catching him right by the bridge, threading the needle just to, you know, throw some emphasis in the headshot, because why not? Alpha kills himself at the end there, tries to get the ambush with the rockets, blasts himself in the face. At the very least, if you're Alpha, you want to end the match with 1 point. Just don't kill yourself again. There's the moral victory. Fantasy on a rampage. Remember, Fantasy still has a whole other match to play after this. So remember, we do have another All-Stars match. We've got that double header. So while Alpha gets to go eat some dinner, drink a beer, take a nap, whatever he wants to do, this All-Stars team is just getting started. There are your GGs in All-Stars. Dropping the first 4v4 map, and I think it can fairly be considered a bit of an upset. DW taking that point, but 4 more points on the board for All-Stars. So that's DW versus All-Stars down. We still have 2 more matches to go. All-Stars coming back for their match against Sons of Death, and then Mesa versus Latam and as the late match. So we know All-Stars is around. Don't expect them to take too long to get back in a server. We'll see if SOD is ready to jump in. I know it's getting to be actually fairly